It's a new week, new drama, new stories, new politicking, everything new. Welcome to Hard Facts. This will be your most authentic news experience on the radio. My name is Maryann Okon, welcoming you to the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're broadcasting live from our audio-visual studios right here in Itimi and Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. Who knew that the speaker would be impeached today, huh? Interesting days ahead, huh? And more innocent civilians being killed in the line of fire as the fight against terrorism continues. But who's going to probe these killings? And for how long shall we wait for the results of those probes if they be done in earnest? These are a couple of the stories we're going to be looking at on the big weekend. Welcome to Hard Facts. From now till 6 p.m. it promises to be an interesting conversation because there is no show without you. So it's going to be a conversation between you and I. So let's talk. As usual, we're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on on our website. You can just go to www.nigeriainfo.fm and listen to us. Or better still, you could download the Nigeria Info FM mobile application. That way you can take us everywhere you go. We're also on Skype. If you're listening from outside of the country and you want to chime in, we're Nigeria Info FM. On X, Nigeria Info FM 99.3. Let's get into the business of the day as we get set to look at the big weekend stories. But first, here we go.
Get ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the Big Three Stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big Three every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
Well, we bring you the facts and the truth. No mago for here. Once again, my name is Maryann Okon. Welcome to the Big Three Stories. But first, let's tell you what happened over the weekend. Well, we need to talk. Address tax reform concerns. NLC President Ajaero tells the federal government. Yeah. Everybody's asking, what is it again with NLC? Well, I mean, I'm thinking, when I first saw this story and I read through it, I asked myself, if Mr. Oyedele is telling us that these tax reforms will be to the benefit of the average person, which also the Nigerian Labour person falls under that category, I'm wondering, what is Labour pushing for exactly? But hey, if you haven't seen the fine print of the tax reform bills and some of the things that are involved in it, then you probably might not understand. And there are those who are still stuck on the derivation aspect of it. Don't forget, still talking about tax, someone's had a change of heart. Let's move to that quickly because one has an affiliation to the other. Why I made a U-turn on tax reform bills, Governor Sule. Now that's Governor Sule of Nasarawa State, and you've heard me talk about him amongst several other people from the north who have stood against this tax reform bill. Now they're not against it in its entirety, I beg your pardon, but they are concerned about some things in that tax bill that may not necessarily be good for their states and their people. This is what they claim. But then Governor Abdullahi was on television recently and he explained why he reversed his stance on the very controversial reforms bill, the tax reform bill. Now, he said that his concerns regarding the bill have been addressed. Shall we get into it? Now, Governor Sule, who was one of the most vocal northern politicians initially opposed the bill, made this disclosure during his appearance on Channels Television. Now, he highlighted that the opposition was not to the idea of tax reforms, but to the bill's content in its original form. According to him, the key objective was to ensure that the bill was thoroughly discussed before any decision was made. He said, and I quote, "We have achieved our goal, and that is the reason today I talk differently. I talk differently because the goal we wanted to achieve has been achieved. We wanted the bill to be further discussed and not passed in its original form. Now there are opportunities to further review, and I commend the House of Representatives, particularly the Speaker, for the way they have handled the issue. End of quote. And this is what Governor Sule said. So does this mean that all the governors in the north and all the legislators who have been against this, are they all just going to get on board? Okay, my mic is whistling. Can you hear it? Apologies for that. Well, so two tax stories. The NLC is saying, no, we need to talk about it. Governor Sule is saying, well, I think that my concerns have been addressed, but has the concern of every person in the north been addressed? Now let's talk about Obasa. Now the former speaker. Well, let's talk about Obasa. I apologize. I don't know what's happening to my microphone. I'm hoping that someone comes to fix it. Anyway, I'm not sure that he woke up this morning expecting that he will no longer be the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. But if you've been following the news, you obviously know what the story is. In case you don't, let me play you a clip quickly so that you get a feel of why he has been impeached today. Take a listen, because of course his deputy has been sworn in as Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Take a listen to some members.
As we are, it's just a change of pattern, and it's only death that is constant. So change is inevitable. The members of the Parliament today has decided to change the leadership of the House. And you know, the Constitution made it clear that the House has the power to regulate its proceedings. So the members of the House felt they've had enough of the Right Honorable Ajaero. And today, we have unanimously agreed that Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda Laspat become the new Speaker of the House.
They've had enough of him, they say. What are your thoughts? The phone lines are open 0201-277-0993. That's the number to call if you're male. For the females, 0201-465-7190. You can post your comments on our live feed on Facebook and on YouTube. I still have one more story to go. Yes. And it's about people being killed as the Air Force was taking out some terrorists. And this one's from the Premium Times newspaper. Another military airstrike kills 20 civilians and vigilantes in minister's hometown. Of course, it's Zamfara State we're talking about here. The victims were residents of various communities who came in solidarity to support an attacked community. At least 20 people, including members of a local vigilante group, have been killed in a mistargeted airstrike by the Nigerian Air Force. This is not the first, by the way. The incident happened in Maradun local government area of Zamfara State, the hometown of the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale. Premium Times newspaper gathered that the local vigilantes killed in the airstrike were members of the Zamfara Community Protection Guard. The incident occurred on Saturday night, 11th of January, at Tonga Kara, a community in Maradun local government area, where both the Air Force and the victims of the airstrike were reportedly repelling an attack by terrorists. Whatever happened to communication and synergy? Whatever happened to sharing intelligence? Or rather, just giving a coded word to say, or a message to say, something's going to happen, so stay clear or be careful or whatever. I don't know. And every time these people are killed, we hear, the governor is paying a visit, he's going to give some money to the members of the communities, or the minister, Mr. President is sending condolences. How many more people are going to die? And who's going to probe all these deaths? And why is there no synergy? This is a conversation we had last week. There is no synergy. How are we going to deal with this issue of terrorism or fighting security when there is no synergy amongst these security operations? It doesn't make sense, does it? More and more, innocent people are dying. Why? Let's talk. The phone lines are open. 0201-277-0993. Apologies if you're hearing any noises from my microphone. We're going to fix it soon, I hope. Hello.
Yeah, Action Lady, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Quick one on Mudashiro Abasa. You know when that slogan, Otoge, was raining, I told them Otoge will come in a different form. Some weeks back, these house people were praising the man. Oh, your leadership is fantastic. You are the best speaker of our time. How come today now they impeach the man? And the other day the man said, we hear news that he want to run for governorship of Lagos State, right? And certain people want to run as well. I think he has stepped on toes. So for those who are praising him that the best speaker, how come today what happened? Nigerian politics, double D politics we play in this part of the world. Thank you, Action Lady.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Maryann Okon.
Yes.
Fantastic afternoon to you.
Yes, go ahead, please. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay.
Another misfiring again from our military. It's quite unfortunate. My heart goes out to the relative of all those who lost their people. I know our military are overwhelmed, especially in this kind of unconventional war, dealing with terrorists. Even the Israeli army, the Western army, despite how sophisticated they are, sometimes they still get some casualties along the way. But I think it's right that we deploy drones, the use of technology, and like you said, synergy of intelligence gathering. So we'll be able to identify where these enemies are, rather than having this collateral damage of civilians being killed in the line of fire. It's quite unfortunate. So we need to deploy more technology to this. And like Mr. Chris mentioned, on the case of Mr. Basa, there were reports that he intends to run for governorship, and today he has been impeached. Could it be what I'm thinking? As good as mine. Thank you.
All right, Emeka, thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Your line is breaking. Please call me back. I apologize for that. Hello.
Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling
My
from?
name is Obonyola Peter from Shango.
Peter, go ahead.
There's a saying that there is no smoke without fire. There might have been some between the House member and Obasa leading to his impeachment. So for him to have come to tell us that they've agreed for change of baton, it cannot just be that there's an argument on the ground. Then quickly, on this incessant air misfire, if there's going to be an air raid, there should be a communication that, let there not be ground surveillance, or the people on ground, they should not operate. So there should be that synergy, that communication. Each time casualty of civilians, now casualty of vigilantes. It's not the best. Good afternoon, Maryann.
Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Maryann.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How was your weekend, babe?
Great. I can't complain.
I thought I had your kettle boiling just now, your microphone.
Yeah, the mic's doing drama.
Well, Maryann. Kai. Mudashiro Basa's case is the case of one day the bushmeat go hunt the hunter. No worry. We'll just sit down and be watching them. Their cup is almost full. Let them keep tossing it up and down. But let me comment on this airstrike. We've had this mistargeted airstrikes, one too many. And except people are being held accountable for this misdemeanor, it will continually thrive. How can you lose lives unwantingly? These are not chickens, they are not birds, but human beings. And then you say we should lie low and keep quiet. No! How about Maryann? You still analyzed one a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, and now another one again. Who will be responsible for this collateral damage? Is it money that will bring back these lives? Enough, I beg. What will an intelligence gathering not give us? What is all?
Mr. Bully, thank you very much for calling. I think we've lost that connection. Malik is calling us from Apapa. Hello, Malik.
Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon.
You forgot my name, only the ordinary Malik.
Okay.
Happy New Year, Maryann.
Same to you.
Anyway, I'm not interested in what happened in the Northeast anymore. I will not blame.
Why are you not interested?
Because this thing will continue to happen. As long as the government is not doing its job, the so-called bandits that they made it to look
Is it about the government not doing its job or security agencies not getting any form of communication across to one another? Because I don't understand how you're targeting a place.
Maryann,
and every time you target, you're killing more and more innocent people.
Maryann, these people use human beings as shield. And remember something, the population of our military is not enough to fight these bandits.
So the story that we are hearing about the vigilantes and the neighborhood watch that the government put in place, that we're also trying to repel these people in that community, they being used as shield. There was no communication. That's what it is.
Maryann, to identify the vigilante in the Northeast is not easy.
They wear uniforms.
Have their own tricks.
They wear uniforms. In Zamfara, I'm talking about Zamfara. I'm not talking about generally in the Northeast. I'm talking about what happened in Zamfara. They have uniforms. And specially
let me
trained.
talk about Lagos State, please. Because no. For the Lagos State speaker, the former speaker, Maryann, that man don't believe me go rest. The hailer yesterday, the pitcher today, is not new. He was thinking ahead of himself to go to a bigger team. So he got to say, guy, your time don't reach that one place. They need to understand that it's not by how much you have. It's by the people that make decisions that matters. You should go and rest. You had enough. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Malik, for calling. I do appreciate it. In case you're just joining us, the program is Hard Facts. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Apologies, the microphone is having its own day of drama. Hopefully, someone will come up here and fix it. In the meantime, let's manage ourselves. You could join the conversation via Skype if you're listening from outside of the countries where Nigeria Info FM. You could join us. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You can join us also on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM 99.3. That's where you can find us. You could also join the conversation on WhatsApp 0809597585. 60 seconds is all you have. Go straight to the point.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
That special secret that awakens taste buds. Mouth-watering wonder with awesome aroma. Terra seasoning cubes.
Terra seasoning cube turns your meals into a masterpiece.
Unwrap joy, unleash taste. Hey, come cook with Terra cubes. Come cook with Terra.
This is Ireti Bakare Yusuf, the host of Borderlines. First and foremost, it's been a whole year of the new show, Borderlines. We've covered several global issues, and we will continue to cover even more. Now, if you have any suggestions regarding Borderlines, whether it's how you want us to be better, what you want us to change, it'll be an interesting thing to learn from you. We will be most appreciative if you could share it with us. You will have to go to any of the Borderlines posts. Borderlines on YouTube at Nigeria Info 99.3, on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos, on Facebook, we post all the Borderline posts there, and also on Twitter, which is now called X. Just go there in the comment section, put your suggestions, and honestly, we're going to review as many of them as possible. If you like, you can hashtag Borderlines, all right? And if there's a story that you had been wanting us to cover, global events, global news, that's what we talk about. Until then, have a fabulous new year. Bye-bye, all the best.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Credible journalism, bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With Hard Facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info, and the program is Hard Facts. I am Maryann Okon. We're looking at the big stories from the weekend. We need to talk about the tax reform bill, and that's what the NLC President is saying to the federal government. And I'm asking if all that they've been saying is that this particular tax bill is going to be more beneficial or most beneficial to the average income earner? What's the Labour people complaining? What are they complaining about? Anyway, Nigerian Labour Congress has called on the president for a constructive dialogue, yes, on the tax reform bill, particularly its implications for the workforce across the nation. During the unveiling of the CNG buses for the Southwest chapters of the union in Ibadan at the weekend, NLC President Ajaero emphasized the urgency of addressing critical concerns within the bill. I wish I could have Ajaero in the studio with us to talk about these critical concerns. What could they be? Also, I forgot to give you this story, and I really need us to talk about it. I will make sure we have a proper conversation on this story about census. Well, the APC is kicking as opposition has alleged that 234 billion naira census fund was diverted into their elections. Yes, the opposition has accused the federal government of failing to explain what happened to 234 billion naira that was released for an aborted national census, because the money was diverted for 2023 electioneering campaigns, according to the opposition. The former President Muhammadu Buhari, under the former President Muhammadu Buhari, I beg your pardon, the National Population National Population Commission, I beg your pardon, proposed a budget of approximately 800 billion naira for the 2023 population and housing census. Now, by May of 2023, the total sum was about 224 billion naira. This is the money that had been disbursed in addition to a 10 billion naira that was approved in October of 2020 for enumeration area demarcation across 546 local government areas. Originally, this census was scheduled for May 2023. The census was now postponed to allow for the next administration to provide their input. However, 17 months into the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidency has refused to announce a new date for the exercise, raising concerns about the implications for governance, economic planning, and resource allocation. Do you remember the guest that we had on the 1st of January? He said, every budget that we have drawn, every money that we have allocated has been a lie, has been false, because we do not have the right number of people living in this conclave called Nigeria. So where's the money? And why are we not conducting census? The last time we had a proper census, what year was that? Wait, I'll get it. But this is a story I want us to have a proper robust conversation around. I'll probably see if I can have someone from the APC and then, of course, someone from the PDP who's making all of these accusations. And then maybe someone can tell us, we can find some closure as to where the money is right now. But let's talk Lagos. The phone lines are open. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon.
We have a man on the line speaking to you from Ekwe.
Go ahead.
As for Basa, I think it's just politics. And I think his ownership ambition is dead on arrival. Are you there, Maryann?
I'm listening.
Yeah, I think the politics is now beyond him. I can see politics of 2027 in play, because in Lagos State, the main important thing is that you take care of the leaders. If you know how to take care of the leaders, you no matter how corrupt you are, don't let me go into it. I'm not a member of their party, but based on things I've seen, I think it's just politics. And then for the census, I think by now we should be having census. We shouldn't be assuming we are 220, 230, 210, 200 million. It's very, very confusing. See a professor wear a tie. You know, that's why he is not. They do not know the number of the citizens of Nigeria, in as much as as learning as he or I is. So it's just confusing. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for calling. I do appreciate it. 0201-277-0993. That's the number for you to call if you're male. For the female, 0201-465-7190. 60 seconds is all you have. Ade Baba here on YouTube Live says, I listened to the Chief of Defense Staff this morning on television. He gave some perspective to this airstrike, which for me, I'm beginning to see the issue from a different dimension. He says, from what the CDS said this morning, I see a bigger conspiracy. I watched that interview and I was just like, Yeah. You know that thing, I'm sorry to say it, but I've got to say it. You know that thing that they say on social media, as much as it sounds like some idiocy, if they explain Nigeria to you and you understand it, it means that they did not explain it well. Because that's what, literally when I was watching that interview, that's what was running through my mind. What's going on? What is going on? Do we really want to end this insecurity? How bad do we want it? Or maybe it's just, someone just is having a field day. How many more of our soldiers? They killed our soldiers last week. And now they're killing people who are recruited to keep themselves and their communities safe. They're also being killed. No synergy, no communication. Everybody's hurting it. To what end? And how many more people have to die for us to sit up and do the right thing? Why does it have to be me, a bloody journalist, telling security agencies that they need to share intel? Why? Only Nigeria. Welcome to Hard Facts. Sorry about that. Welcome to Hard Facts. Call me when you're ready, okay? Please turn off your radio when you do call me. I will not tell you on live radio to turn off your radio. So if you call and your radio is on, I go to the next caller. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is Sunday calling from Italy.
Go ahead.
Well, it was a surprise for the speaker after some kind of year that the man has been used on the throne. He was impeached. Maybe simply because the president was not around. That is why. Maybe they can take the issue to the president. No matter the state, if you don't offend president, I think the issue can be resolved. Thank you and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling. I want to quickly read some messages. Esther Boli here says on the census fund, it don't go. Nothing will be done to bring those who mismanaged or embezzled it to account. Period. Don't be in a hurry now. Shebi, we are now asking. We need to have answers. It's as simple and straightforward as that, she says. Ineptitude and lackluster attitude will continually thrive amongst political office holders, except they're punished. It's going to punish them. Safiano Barry says the APC needs to explain where the 234 billion naira goes since the census hasn't been conducted. And that's a hard fact. Let me come to WhatsApp here and do justice to some of those messages that are coming in. Tragic incidents like this underline the importance of careful, precise military operations to avoid civilian casualties. Such incidents highlight the need for thorough investigations, accountability, and measures to prevent similar occurrences in the future. May the soul of these dead people rest in peace. So, Lushoga, thank you for your message. It's really sad, and I don't understand how me, an ordinary brigadier, is going to be telling a whole armed forces that intelligence gathering and synergy communication across the board is important. Why are we having this conversation on the radio? I don't belong to the Pentagon. I don't belong to the defense headquarters. Why are we having this conversation in 2025? This one says, how was the weekend? Well, it was great. The impeachment of the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, this does not come to me as a surprise. All these should be blamed on the political ambition, on his political ambition to become the state governor come 2027. I don't understand. Why is it a crime for anyone to aspire to be governor in Lagos State without being anointed or laid hands upon? I just want to know. I need to understand, because when you start saying, oh, it's because he wants to be governor, that's why he was impeached. Does he not have a constitutional right to run? I can run for president if I want to. I can run for governor. I can run for anything I want to, as long as I'm constitutionally allowed to. And he is constitutionally allowed to run for governor. What's his crime, though? Or is it that somebody's very powerful enough to say, hey, your power is becoming too much. It's getting to your head. Get out of there. Yeah, put another person. Is that what's happening in Lagos? Someone here says, good afternoon, Maryann. For me, it's the right decision taken by Governor Abdullahi of Nasarawa to withdraw his support from the tax bill because it's anti-masses. Well, I'm sorry, Governor Sule Safianu. Governor Sule has now well, he's now open to the idea of the bill. He's had a change of heart. In case you did not hear my story properly, he's now in support of it. And so I'm asking: are all the state governors and all the legislators that were against it, are they all going to be banding behind Governor Sule, or is he just riding solo? Ayodele here says Obasanjo's impeachment is long overdue. The man is not fit to be speaker, but the power that put him has removed him from the chair. We need technology to checkmate wrong targets, and I'm against the tax reform bills. I am against the tax reforms. That's one section that is championing it. Okay. I'm sure what you mean is that because one section is championing it. What do you mean by one section, Ayo? Can you explain to me, please? This one here says, good afternoon, Maryann. Aderemi from Mushi. Hello, Mr. Aderemi. Obasa shot himself in the foot by allegedly attempting to tamper with Lagos state government laws, saying no elections in 37 LCDAs, but to be headed by administrative secretaries and elections to hold only in the recognized 20 local governments without consultation with the powers that be in Lagos state. Local government areas and LCDAs are a sensitive political decision of Tinubu, which Obasa should have threaded softly. Tell me something. Now, wow. All right, someone here says, talking about probing the Air Force bombing, just forget it. It will not happen. And on the Lagos State House of Assembly, Obasa's impeachment is long overdue. His ballot box is finally snatched. The cookie jar has been shifted from his reach. He has whacked enough. Jonathan from Maguro. You will come up with all kinds of things. Interesting. Steve from Ijaniki here says, anyone surprised about the impeachment of Obasa as the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly? I think it's just the learner of politics. Okay. It's just deceit, backbiting, betrayal from a set of self-serving, backbiting group of people who call themselves politicians. It's a merry-go-round issue. Obasa and his gang members know the selfishness and tricks in the game. No clean hand is in there. Steve Ofere. This one says, well done. Obasa has really fed fat. It's really time for him to leave. Obasa really showed his arrogance on the Lagos Thanksgiving service. He came very late and he has been hailed by the OAP without any regards for the governor. Which OAP be this, I beg? Who's already sat long time before him. I watched the whole scenario and I knew something should be done because he really stole the show, going about greeting people and causing a row. Olufumilayo. So because I came late, where I was shaking hands with people and doing anything, so now they should impeach me. Is that how you used to do? Yeah. Now so not do it for you. I'm going back to the phone line 0201 277 0993. Join the conversation. Hello.
Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ambrose. I live in Mowe.
Ambrose, that's what I do for you.
As we see, and we are now Nigerians with you now. So anything is possible for this country. Anything is possible. Maryann, if you know Lagos politics, you see this man is Jagaban right.
Turn off your radio. I will cut you off. I'm not going to think twice about it.
I beg. No vex, I beg. He's Jagaban's right-hand man. Hello?
I'm listening.
Do you know last week he made a comment about the governor? And I learned Jagaban was not happy about it. And he also has ambition to become the governor of Lagos State. This man is high-handed. Forget it. He's long overdue. He's the only speaker that has spent 3 terms.
But were people sleeping when he was voted in again and again? I don't understand. What do you mean by his long?
Jagaban's right-hand man. Now he has.
So all of a sudden he's long overdue.
He's long overdue. So let me tell you, the man, as far as I'm concerned, he cup don't full. Like they talk money when he chop, he don't do.
All right.
Make himself come off for there.
Ambrose, thank you very much for calling. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann.
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ahmed Kuti from Oworo.
Ahmed, go ahead.
Maryann, look at the way they remove shock from Obasa's leg. Can you really tell us what happened between them?
I was not there. I've told you, I've played the audio of what the members of the assembly said.
Now.
I am not. I don't know Obasa. I've never met him.
You are denying Obasa now.
I've never met the guy. I don't know him. I just know his speaker. I've never met him. Does he know me?
Miriam, we are on here.
I'm saying it. Am I hiding my mouth? Oh, Mr. Obasa, do you know me? Have we met? Hey, see problem.
You can see politics. Eh?
I don't know the guy. No, for real, I've never met him. I've never met him.
Anyway, Obasa have really enjoyed himself in that position, sir.
Okay, so it's time to go and rest.
You should go and rest.
Okay, all right. Thank you and God bless. Okay. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, good afternoon, Maria. Happy New Year.
Yes.
You see, the issue with the
What's your name? What's your name, sir?
Is this. You see,
what's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Romeo. I'm calling from it.
You have to observe due protocol, please.
You say what?
You have to observe protocol, please.
With the vessel. But sometimes, you know that if you want to say something that will trigger Nigerian government, it's better you remain anonymous. So before they can't carry you fast before they do.
I beg you, be coming down. Who are you, safe? Rest.
Okay. You see, one thing is this. Jagaban did here fine. But do you know that he is there and he's still controlling Lagos State? So that's not a very simple issue. And the issue that happened is when he was in power, for 8 good years, he was not given allocation, but he ran Lagos State. And that was the people used to look at him. If he becomes the president, it will be better. But it's not happening the way people are expecting. I don't know if you were just able to listen to the show that happened that KB aired today with one ex-military personnel. You see, a lot of things that man said, if it cannot be put in place in Nigeria, Nigeria will be a better place.
Yeah, if being the operating word. Romeo, it's because of your time, that's why I'm letting you go, but thank you very much for calling. We can't control or rather run a country on ifs and buts. But unfortunately, that's where we're at. Just we keep hoping. We vote in people who have no idea or any business whatsoever with governance and leadership. We vote in all kinds of people with backgrounds that you wouldn't even let them sit on your dining table and have dinner with your family, but they're your leaders. Questionable characters. And then you hope upon hope, and then you call God to come and help you. Something obviously is wrong with us, right? Because, it doesn't sit right. You bring the worst people to lead you and hope that bad people will do good. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Maryann.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
This is Pastor Ladipo calling from Morilego.
Pastor Ladipo, go ahead, do.
You see, for the case of Obasa, Lagos politics, only those that understand it, we know that there are red lines you don't cross. And once you cross those lines, it will go
and who set the red tape for the red lines?
You. If you want to know who set the red tape, I think the easiest way is for you to pay attention to Lagos politics. That whoever becomes anything in Lagos politics must go through that Ikoyi road. Otherwise, that is where those things
I go through Ikoyi road and I don't have to be anything in
because
Lagos.
You don't stop over. There's a stopover along that road. So yeah, for the security people. For the security people. You see, I listened to that man this morning.
10 seconds.
Yes, I listened to that man this morning. I discovered that we have a long way to go. There are too many people compromising our security system in this country.
Okay. Yeah? Thank you, Pastor Ladipo. I'm letting you because of time. I have just 7 minutes and I want to go back to read messages on Facebook and on YouTube. People are just coming. And it's only you that waka come. You are just realizing that you have a long way to go. Yeah? Now, una sleeper don't chop. Una still they think. Una never realize. Hey. Nigerians, you need to wake up. If you haven't woken up, then someone needs to slap you out of this sleep. All right, this one here says, you are what is this one? Sorry, who's this person? I'm not sure. Ezigozie. I don't know about this. Okay. This one here says, this is Emmanuel from Maryland, Lagos State. The last census was on the 21st of March 2006. Yeah, thank you very much for reminding me. You know, I talked about it and it was overtaken by an event. I can never forget the date because I lost my dad on that day. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Mudashira Basa has been taught a political lesson of no chop waiting or gap picking one chop unless you are invited. Hey, biggie. Baba has removed the ladder. The man don't land Yakata for grant. Hey, John Abafi. I love Nigeria Info colors. This one here says, to be sincere, whenever I listen to Nigeria Info, to be sincere, whenever I listen to Nigeria's story, I'm more confused. Japheth, that's what I'm saying. I used to think it was a joke, yeah, when people say it on social media, but when I watched the Chief of Defense Staff on television, I'm not going to lie, that thing came back to my memory. If somebody explains Nigeria to you and you easily understand it, the person didn't do a good job. Because the more you look, the more confused you are. Unfortunately. Someone here says, I'm not defending the Air Force or military. The NAF had a target on lock. They got some bandits and some civilian casualties. Sorry, this person that is sending this message, Bello, from Southampton. Imagine if your family members were part of some casualties. Would you be sounding like this? And I'm not in any way, because you see, in our bid to fight terrorism and insecurity, human beings have become of no value in this country. We've been reduced to numbers. And I don't blame you for thinking that way because, you're in Southampton. You can't be bothered. Many more people are dying in the line of fire. Sometimes we're kidnapped. Sometimes our throats slit. And then they'll bring bags of rice and then some token to our family members, and that does it. And then another set of people are killed. We have no value for life. But it's okay. We're not blaming the military. We're not blaming the Air Force. They had a target on lock, according to you, Bello. And it's really hard, you say, to differentiate between bandits and the civilians because they live together. Okay. The NLC here has every right to be against the tax reform bills. The government is extremely opaque about it. Only those who earn less than 800,000 per year, according to the bill, would be exempted from the taxes. Going by the minimum wage, which is still not that valuable, only those earning less than the minimum wage would be exempted. And to be honest, if you earn less than, I'm sure you mean 80,000, not 800,000, because that's what you've been typing. You will probably not survive in 1 year in this country. Chinon Sofa Maja. Please check your message, okay? Additional from Ikorodu says, I'm not surprised he was impeached from Lagos State by origin. Okay, I'm from Lagos State by origin, and I critically checked that man as a speaker of Lagos State government, and I found that so many atrocities were committed under his speakership, but I do not blame him. I blame the system of land that brings many of these people to power. So unfortunate, he says. But you people were there now, Lagos people. You sat there with your korokoro eyes. He was elected again and again and again, and you're saying you don't blame him. You blame yourself then, because I'm not a Lagosian in that regard. Because you say you are born and bred, you're a Lagosian. Me, I'm a Lagosian by association. In fact, by now I live here, so and I've now moved my polling unit here, but I don't belong to Obasa's polling unit, so I did not vote him. So the people that voted him, and you still, according to your allegations, that atrocities were committed under him, and people still sat down there. You didn't think that you could have impeached him, that you have a right of recall. He has no immunity, and he sat there for that long, and you're complaining today that he is long overdue. What were you doing? Someone says, well done. Now, Idi Amin of Uganda regime with this, so no be the person will say no tribe should not vote in Lagos. Okay, non-tribe should not vote in Lagos. Today, how are the mighty fallen? We're all in for it. I've got a minute. I'm going to try to run through the messages on Facebook Live quickly. Okay, this one here says Silvanus Aburime from Command Road Ikpaja says a Yoruba proverb says Aje you know I can't speak Yoruba very well. Aje kelana omokuleni. I don't know, I murdered it. Yeah. How dare him nurse an ambition to be governor when the son of the president is also being rumored to be interested in the same position? Those who don't understand the meaning of use and dump. Uche from Sango says, I will not blame the military because some of the people are cohorts with the terrorists. Obasa should go and rest. On Obasa's impeachment, I think Tinubu is not busy well enough with the problems of Nigeria. He still has the time to orchestrate someone's impeachment in Lagos House of Assembly, because no one can remove anyone that is in Lagos House of Assembly without Tinubu's approval. He single-handedly supplanted all of them in the House to checkmate any other recalcitrant governor. Femi from Ikorodu, thank you for your message. We've got to go now for that break. On the other side of the clock, it's Checkpoint. And before we go on that break, I've got good news for you. Michael Achimogu, the guy that was in charge of the airport when that guy was displaying, is joining us tomorrow on Community U Report. So, hey, get ready. We're going to understand what exactly happened that day at the airport, eh? You see, I make promises and I keep them. It's 2025. Maybe our leaders should just begin to toe my line. Make promises, keep them. If you can't, get out. It's still 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'll be back on the other side of the clock with Checkpoint, and we'll find out what's happening on Lagos roads. How are you traversing? How are you trapadosing? How are you moving from point A to point B? My name is Maryann Okon. This is Hard Facts.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Facts. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Mom's love is pure. It flows no cheetah. Mom's special jollof puts a smile on your face. Mom's love is right. Cheers you up. Mom tastes tea. Nourishes the family. Golden Terra oil. Tasty. Golden Terra oil. Nourishing. Golden Terra oil. Golden Terra soya oil.
Golden Terra Oil helps mom pour her love in the tasty, nourishing meals she cooks for her family. Golden Terra Oil, pour pure love.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
There's a reason why over 1 million people tune into Hard Facts every day. We discuss in-depth stories with sources behind the facts.
The Lagos State High Court has convicted, suspended the Chicago certificate story. It's never going away, is it? Show with stories for the day.
You hear diverse voices and opinions.
And she was meeting campaign with her husband, knowing that.
You should not be happy because there is nothing to happy about.
Yeah, it's quite pathetic the way the country is going.
We distinguish each story accurately with analysis.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I still have 2 minutes, so I want to read some of the messages that I have not read before we go on that news break, okay? Someone says, Nigeria is the more you look, the less you see. RIP to those innocent civilians who died. At last, Abasa is out. Ain't surprised, long overdue. They praised him yesterday, but now he's being impeached today by the same praises. Messi from Festa. Real? Someone says, sometimes you journalists absorb, I'm sure you mean absolve ourselves. You don't need to be in his constituency to speak out his faults. And I don't remember saying that I have to be in his constituency to speak of his faults. I'm just saying, those of you who have the right to vote him out, what were you doing? You were sleeping? Oh, you're looking for who to push the blame on. Someone says the translation of the meaning of Ajaero Ajekela no Omuk. Oh my goodness! Can you just leave me alone, please? What is it? Somebody has to teach me how to speak Yoruba properly. It says a witch cried yesterday and a child died today. Who doesn't know that it's the witch that killed the child? Slim Shady, okay. Oshega. All right, we've got to go now for that news break. And on the other side, let's check in with Lagos. Maybe we'll use checkpoint today too. You see, we are still dragging the shokoto of the governor of Ondo State. Hello, Governor Dakwa Abiodun. We are coming for you on the other side of the clock, sir. Have you woken up to fix the streets of Ondo State? Because Ogun State, I beg your pardon. Because a group of journalists just came back from there and they said the traveling was horrible. It was terrible. An experience that they do not want to live again. And Ogun State has a governor. We'll be back to talk more about Ogun State. I promised last week that we'll continue this week because tomorrow, Michael Achimogu, the guy who's in charge of PR at the airport, will be joining us on the Community U Report to discuss what happened at the airport with the guy who was flying to France. Today, we feast on Ogun State and Lagos on the other side.
This is Hard Facts.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Facts. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.